Hello everyone and welcome to this video on GDPR. My name is Sami and today I have the pleasure to be with Frédéric. So Fred, the EU General Data Protection Regulation entered in force on the 24th of May 2016 and shall apply from the 25th of May 2018. What does that mean?
Well, the so-called GDPR reshuffles the existing regulatory framework to impose tougher data protection rules across the European Union and beyond. In short, every EU-based organization acting as either controller or processor of personal data is concerned, as is every organization based outside of the EU and acting as controller of personal data of EU residents. The GDPR requires companies to act lawfully, fairly, and transparently in their use of personal data and how they deal with people whose data they process. Businesses have to be transparent and honest about what they are doing and why.
So what are the key issues to focus on from a company point of view?
Well, companies need to rethink how they collect, process and store data. The new rules will impact them at different levels. The first level is about compliance. For example, companies will have to deal with the new accountability obligations, which means creating written compliance plans as to the measures taken with the GDPR in relation to the risks and impact, and which might be shared with regulators on demand. The second level is about usage control. Personal data will be subject to strict usage controls principles, such as data minimization, data portability, and the right to be forgotten. This means companies have to limit the use of data, enable individuals to take back their data at the end of a relationship, as well as to delete and destroy data on request. The GDPR also restricts the automated decision-making as well as the profiling of natural persons. The third level is about consent. It will be much more complicated to achieve and prove the consent to use personal data. The level number 4 is about bundling. The regulation bans a very common practice in marketing services, which is conditioning the provision of services by individual consents for the data to be used for non-essential purposes. Level number 5 is about aggregation. The ability to collect data and create individual profiles will be severely curtailed. The 6th level is about the supervision, whereby regulators will have the right to carry out audits and inspections at the entities on demand. The level number 7 is about the disclosure of breaches. The GDPR requires business to report serious contraventions of the law to regulators within 72 hours and to communicate to the people affected. The public disclosure of failure is likely to fuel regulatory sanctions and compensation claims, as well as causing damage to companies' brands and reputation. The level number 8 is about fines. Companies that do not comply with the law risk fines up to either 20 million euros or, in case of an undertaking, up to 4% of the group annual worldwide turnover. Last, the level number 9 is about litigation. Citizens and pressure groups have the right to engage in group litigation to recover compensation for mere distress caused by contravention of the laws.
So Fred, what should companies do to make sure that they comply with these different rules?
Well, companies have until May 2018 to be fully compliant. This might seem as a long way off, but they should take advantage of the next few months and get ready for the entry in force. For the preparation phase, companies should develop an awareness program for their employees and service providers dealing with personal data. They should also assess and review their existing personal data protection treatments, identify gaps with the GDPR requirements, and see to what extent adaptation measures across the whole organization are necessary. Companies should also document and monitor the way they comply with the GDPR. Companies should also appoint, for those who have not done it yet, a data privacy officer when required. Some companies may also need to update their commercial contracts with partners, and we all know that can be quite lengthy. Last, companies should also check the security of processing and possible transfer of personal data outside of the European Union.
Thank you very much, Fred, for these explanations and thank you for watching.